Just ahead on CTV News, the family of Kilmar Abrego Garcia now moved to a safe house. Plus, international students are getting their visas reinstated. And
coming up, Arbor Day is today, and Oxon Hill Elementary students are planting trees to celebrate the holiday.
those stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening, this is CTV News for April 25th. I'm Michaela Newton. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, as the Trump administration continues to refuse orders to return the wrongfully deported Maryland man to the U.S., the wife of Kilmar Abrego Garcia says she and her children had to move to a safe house. This comes after the Department of Homeland Security posted a court document to social media that included their home address. His wife, Jennifer Vasquez-Sura, has been at the forefront of the fight to bring Abrego Garcia home, appearing and speaking at many rallies. DHS posted to social media a copy of a protective order granted in 2021 to Vasquez-Sura against Abrego Garcia. And a federal judge in Maryland temporarily blocks a plan by the Trump administration to ban diversity, equity, and inclusion in schools. U.S. District Court Judge Stephanie Gallagher ruled that the Department of Education did not follow legally required processes when implementing the policy. The department's plan would withhold federal funding from schools that refuse to comply with the DEI ban. Other judges in similar cases have ruled that the policy is unconstitutionally vague, that it infringed on teachers' First Amendment rights, that it would cause harm, and that it overstepped the federal agency's authority. Meanwhile, a major change from the Trump administration, thousands of international students are getting their visa records reinstated after a controversial crackdown. The Justice Department made the announcement today following weeks of legal pushback and over 100 lawsuits. Judges across 23 states slammed the mass terminations as illegal and chaotic. The students had been dropped from a federal database over minor or dismissed legal infractions, sparking fear of deportation and even blocking some from finishing classes or research. Maryland lawmakers have reversed a legislative mix-up that accidentally gave 5 universities the first right to offer certain graduate programs. The error, made during the final hours of the 2024 session, gave schools like the University of Maryland College Park and the state's 4 historically black colleges early access to programs tied to workforce needs. Legislative leaders say it was a clerical mistake, and this week Governor Wes Moore signed an emergency bill to fix it. University leaders had already agreed to follow the original intent of the law even before the fix was made official. And today is Arbor Day, and the county is celebrating by planting more trees. At one elementary school, students and faculty are seeing the county make history. CTV's Melody Nurvansani went to Oxon Hill Elementary School to check out what's going on.
It's a special Arbor Day here at Oxon Hill Elementary School where a ceremonial tree was planted to mark the county's efforts in environmentalism.
1, 2, 3.
The county has won the Arbor Day Foundation Tree City USA Award for 41 years straight for its commitment to saving the trees.
April 25th, 2025.
At Oxon Hill Elementary, the county officially declared today as Arbor Day. Before planting, state and county environmental leaders spoke to students about trees. Students also sang songs and wrote poems about why planting trees are important. Oxon Hill Elementary School Principal Sabiji Libfor-Transu says it was a great opportunity for the kids.
It's all about the hands-on learning, connecting the environment to what they're learning in the classroom.
Along with the ceremonial tree, students planted other shrubs and trees native to the area. James Robertson is a member of Prince George's County Beautification Committee and views the children's excitement as a good sign.
It's like we want to empower our young people to take action and let them know how important trees are. They're part of a solution today.
Oxon Hill Elementary School is one of Maryland's green schools and was chosen by the county to host the event. Reporting from Oxon Hill Elementary, I'm Melody Nurvansani, CTV News.
All right, Melody, thanks so much. Meanwhile, layoffs continue to hit Maryland federal contractors as the Trump administration makes major changes and cuts federal agency budgets. One database puts the total at more than 3,000 employees at companies that contract with the federal government receiving layoff notifications. Economists say the layoffs will have major impacts on the Maryland economy. Hundreds of those layoffs are from companies in Prince George's, and more than 1,000 are from Montgomery County. Most of those companies work with the USAID, NASA, the Department of Education, and the Department of Health and Human Services. Well, 2 men have been arrested for allegedly scamming county residents out of more than $700,000 worth of cash and gold bars. 47-year-old Young Lee of New York and 25-year-old Parmbeer of Ohio are now in custody. The 2 men allegedly used an elaborate fraud scheme involving Microsoft support computer pop-ups. And yesterday, one of the victims shared their story in hopes to prevent others from being next.
This particular one was really polished. I did not see it coming. I like to think of myself who has like a really good sixth sense about this, and it failed me this time. And did you like the 3 of them made a very convincing, plausible, extremely polished presentation, convincing me that by supposedly safeguarding money that I had in my account, I was actually putting it at risk. Call a friend, perhaps call the police, actually visit your bank in person. Do not give any authentication, personal data over the phone. Those are some of the things I would do.
And if you believe you have been a victim of fraud, contact PGPD and 301-516-1464. Well, the legal challenges to the Trump administration continue as a federal judge blocks the executive order overhauling how U.S. elections are run, including adding a proof of citizenship requirement. But the judge did allow parts of the order to go forward, including a part that would tighten mail ballot deadlines around the country. The judge ruled that the Constitution gives the power to regulate federal elections to states and Congress, not the president. Lawmakers are currently working on legislation to require proof of citizenship to vote. And Montgomery County Executive Mark Elridge says tough choices are coming, and he's proposing a big shift to fund local priorities without raising property taxes. In his State of the County address, Elridge said he wants to drop his earlier plan to hike property taxes, instead boosting the income tax from 3.2 to 3.3% to cover education and more.
This is the function of taxation. Let's not be confused about this. We're not taking people's money to get rich or to build luxury housing. We tax people to build an environment that then becomes self-sustaining. It's a virtuous cycle. You pay taxes, I build infrastructure. New people come here. Other people see other people coming here, like they do in Northern Virginia. Then more people come. We can do this. I recognize that their success is the county's success. They can broaden our tax base, and so we can improve our services. And we need to break our reliance on residential taxes.
Elridge says the move would fully fund the school system's $3.6 billion request, but warns that without council support, cuts could be on the table. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Michaela Newton. Still to come, marijuana smokers across America recently celebrated a holiday over the weekend, but now concerns are on the rise about its effects on the public's health. I'll have that story and more coming up after the break.
We are the nation's largest integrated healthcare system, providing life-changing care to over 9 million veterans.
Our hands are busy, competent, skilled, healing, helping, and friendly. A place where diverse teams come together hand in hand to provide full patient-centered care. Working in state-of-the-art facilities with influential leaders in healthcare, all with a single goal in mind: to help veterans heal, recover, and get their lives back. In a place where everyone plays a part and where your efforts are truly appreciated. A place so innovative and forward-thinking that we're rebuilding hands and where even robots lend a hand.
Join hands with us. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov.
Our connections make powerful things happen, uniting individuals and communities. We are Rotary. We are people of action. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. Around the world, generations of leaders build new friendships and solve problems, turning great ideas into reality. Take action with us. Find out more at rotary.org/action.
Hi, I'm the Big C. Hey, look at this beautiful couple. I knew as soon as I said that, I was like, don't say it, don't assume. Did you know more than 2 people die from skin cancer every hour?
Oh, man.
It's a bummer, but the good news is skin cancer is a cancer you can see, so you can go get checked. You can check each other regularly, make it romantic. Turns out I'm a matchmaking mirror. You're welcome. Love might be in the air.
A loaded gun found on school grounds, and a 14-year-old is at the center of an investigation. Prince George's County Police say school security recovered the weapon Thursday afternoon outside of Kenmore Middle in Landover. Officers were alerted around 1:40 after an 8th grader allegedly fled from security while carrying the gun in the school parking lot. Charges against the student are pending, and the investigation is still underway. And big economic news for Western Maryland. Governor Wes Moore says more than 400 new jobs are coming to Hagerstown, with another 1,300 expected in spinoff roles. The announcement follows Moore's trip to Japan, where he met with executives from Hitachi Rail. The company is investing $70 million into a new factory to build rail cars for Metro and the Maryland Transit Authority. Hitachi's first order for WMATA includes 256 rail cars, with 20 more rolling out each month. And now that marijuana is legal in Maryland, new concerns are emerging about its effects on public health. A state survey shows more than 4,000 residents may meet the criteria for cannabis use disorder. Over half of them are women. And while rare, another risk is cannabis hyperemesis syndrome. It's a condition causing severe vomiting and abdominal pain. Around 2% of survey respondents reported experiencing it. Most were the ages between 26 and 45. Now, health officials say education and outreach are key, and many hospitals now offer referral programs for treatment. And tomorrow, April 26th, is National Drug Take-Back Day, and the Maryland State Police are encouraging Marylanders to safely dispose of unwanted medications. Maryland State Police hold a biannual program where state residents can visit any state police barrack and find a secure drug collection box. In October, 10,000 pounds of drugs were collected, and since the program started in 2014, state police have collected 34,000 pounds of drugs through the initiative. And continuing our Arbor Day coverage, we look back at an expanding Prince George's County gardening organization that helps students grow their own food. This year, it's set up shop at a school for kids with autism. Byron Scott has our story.
The challenges for us to be able to communicate to the students.
At a greenhouse in Beltsville.
All right, we're watering. Now we're watering. We're adding compost tea. Great, awesome.
Some young people are learning the basics of gardening.
Bella was watering our dragon fruit.
They are students at James E. Duckworth School.
This is a regional school, which means that we work with students with special needs who would struggle in our general education population.
On this day, 3 students, all nonverbal, took part in the class. Bella, Gary, and Bernardo.
Right here, Bernardo. Great job. Whoa. Great job. Awesome job.
The sessions are run by Nema's Gardens, an organization which teaches students in several county schools how to grow their own food.
The program allows them to come in, help plant, help water, and just maintain the overall maintenance of the garden.
Nema's Garden's first year at Duckworth came with some challenges, namely learning how to communicate with someone who can't talk.
So we really have to watch their body language.
Yeah, you want to try it again? No.
So we get a lot back from them in that sense, but they also have the opportunity to use communication boards and the communication symbols in the space around them to share what they're learning. And it's really an engaging process because of how hands-on things are within the greenhouse and the program we have.
All around the greenhouse is the fruit of their labor.
But we have some grasses. We're starting on some flowers like some calendula, sunflowers, cone flowers. We have arugula in here. We have lettuce. We're about to start some warm-loving crops like the peppers. Yay. Come on, more.
The goal?
Just to always to teach them how to grow, teach them how to grow food. But I'm not sure if the goal is for them or is it for us and our team to learn just a better way of communicating.
In the end, everyone involved in the program is, in a way, both student and teacher.
We're learning a lot from the students, and we're learning a lot about ourselves.
Byron Scott, CTV News.
To learn more about Neima's Gardens, go to neimasgardens.com. And still to come on CTV News, a local author shows what happens when you put faith over fear. After the break, we speak to an award-winning journalist who tells a personal story of perseverance.
We hear the stories of people forced to abandon their home. The stories of people whose dreams have been swept away, or their lives left hanging by a thread. Or whose worlds have been blasted apart. Although the stories repeat themselves, each person's experience is unique as they are. And whether it's care or community that people need, we're here to help them live a new chapter, to embrace what makes them unique, be a lifeline to the most vulnerable.
Out! Up! Everybody out! Come on!
Good job. Under 2 minutes.
Keep your loved ones safe from home fires. Practice a 2-minute drill until it's part of your routine. And test your smoke alarms monthly.
In America, millions of families are facing hunger. After rent and power, I can get groceries. It's sad to say food comes last. Anna from Texas. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back. The USDA is alerting the public of a recall. ACC Central Kitchen is recalling approximately 64,000 pounds of pork bun products due to misbranding and undeclared allergens. The product contains sesame, a known allergen which is not declared on the product label. The frozen, not ready-to-eat, soupy pork bun with crab roe items were produced on various dates dating back to November of 2023. Anyone concerned about an illness should contact a healthcare provider. Meanwhile, retail giant Walmart recently announces a 650-store makeover to highlight its growing e-commerce business. The multi-million-dollar makeover includes improved in-store signage and displays, adding more products to its roster, and updates to better meet the increasing number of online orders. Walmart reported 20% quarterly growth in e-commerce sales to end 2024, and with more than 4,600 stores nationwide, the chain has been a serious competitor to online giant Amazon. Now, when life hits hard, sometimes the strongest comebacks are rooted in faith, family, and forgiveness. 3-time Peabody Award-winning journalist Rick Martin is sharing his deeply personal story in a new memoir called Unmasked: Overcoming Death. Tonight, a closer look at how his life-threatening battle with COVID-19 became a message of hope for others.
Writing a book is a monumental task, and I wasn't really ready to reveal or wanted to reveal what I had gone through.
Rick Martin, a 3-time Peabody Award-winning journalist, is sharing his most personal story yet. In his memoir, Unmasked, Overcoming Death, Martin details his harrowing battle with COVID-19 and the life-changing lessons that followed.
The whole point is, you know, every difficulty, every challenge that I go through, I can get through. Even on my worst days, it's a good day. I still have my wife. I still have my 2 daughters. So, you know, that is part of the motivation that I have to encourage and inspire so many others. I still even have my parents in their 80s, who encourage me.
Martin's career spanned decades at CNN and local newsrooms in D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, and Atlanta, covering some of the biggest stories of our time. But when the pandemic hit, he became the story. In 2020, Martin faced a life-threatening battle with COVID, 17 days hospitalized, 5 on a ventilator. His memoir recounts that fight and the family that helped him survive it.
You know, I tell you, there's nothing like a woman's love. You know, I joke with my wife saying, yeah, honey, I spent 5 days on a ventilator before waking up. Thanks for not pulling the plug on the 4th day. I joke with that, but in all seriousness, you know, I made it through something extraordinary, and she didn't give up on me. She helped me through. Her patience helped me through. My daughters had patience for me to get through.
He also touches on something deeply human, the power of forgiveness, even when it's hard.
You know, that situation when I lost my job, I could have been angry, I could have been anything. But what I did was forgive those responsible. And I think also, too, forgiveness comes to even the relationship with my wife and daughters. You see, I was dedicated to my job. I was dedicated to my craft. I was committed to my ego before COVID. After COVID, I became committed to my family and my faith.
Unmasked is now available on Amazon and rickmartinmedia.com. And still to come, Simon Bugs is here with our Friday Sports page.
Hey there, CTV Sports family. I've got a great sports page lined up for you today as I recap the Commanders and Ravens picks from the NFL Draft. Don't go anywhere.
Home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
All right, everybody, go ahead and grab a seat because your Friday sports page is here. We go first to the world of high school lacrosse. The Bowie High School Lady Bulldogs look to defend home turf against Oxon Hill. The Lady Bulldogs got on the board first in the opening quarter thanks to this nice shot from number 2 for the team. But just a few minutes later, the Lady Clippers got their first goal of the matchup as attacker and midfielder Clark Coleman locked in and made his penalty shot for her team. But Coleman didn't stop there as she scored 2 more goals to put her team ahead 3-2 going into the second. But in the second, Bowie's offense really began to heat up. Lady Bulldogs scored 8 goals in the second quarter to Oxon Hill's 3. And because of this, they went into halftime up 10-6 on the Lady Clippers. Bowie scored 2 more times in the third quarter to make it 12 goals on the day. And plays like this tough save from Bowie's goalie kept Oxon Hill scoreless, and they went into the fourth down 12-6. Bowie kept the lead for the rest of the game, beating the black and gold 18-8. Meanwhile, the NFL draft began yesterday, and going into it, one question on Commanders fans' minds was, what is the team going to do with the 29th pick? Will they shore up the secondary, take an edge rusher, or even trade back to get more picks? Well, the question was answered as the team drafted offensive lineman Josh Connolly out of Oregon. The 21-year-old was one of the highest-rated players at his position going into the draft. General Manager Adam Peters spoke after round 1 and is happy Connolly fell to him.
Really, just throughout the process, we fell more and more in love with them. And the coaches were all on board, not just the O-line coaches. They always want somebody that's an O-lineman, but the coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, Brian Johnson, DQ, I mean, everybody was just really pumped to get him. And we were holding our breath for a while, thinking he might go ahead of us. So we were thrilled when he was there. It was an easy pick for us to make, and we're really pumped that we had another commander to the building.
In more NFL news, the Baltimore Ravens added some talent to their defensive back room last night after drafting safety Malachi Starks out of Georgia. And Ravens general manager Eric DaCosta revealed why he chose to make the 21-year-old the newest member of the Purple and Black.
As we go back and look at our very best players, they're just wired a certain way.
Let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast tonight. If you're hitting the streets, take an umbrella because rain and thunderstorms are likely between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. Tomorrow it's going to be 81 degrees, but more storms are expected between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Sunday, it'll be nice and sunny with a high of 70. Monday will be just as nice with a high of 75 and a low of 54 rather. And for our community calendar, the County Council is threatening to cut CTV from the upcoming budget, and we can't let that happen. Monday, CTV News is hosting a rally at the Wayne K. Curry Administration Building to save CTV. The rally kicks off at 5 p.m., and the public hearing starts at 6 p.m. For more information, call 301-773-0900. And that's all the time we have on CTV News. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great weekend.